Now let's talk about resources you can use that are really helpful for trading. The biggest one, in my opinion, is simply just keeping up with the news because there's always something happening and you don't want to miss major things, especially on stocks you like. The simplest way to do this is just simply in your brokerage application. There'll be a live news indicator right here, and you could type in something like Tesla. And if you click on something, it'll expand it, and you could read any major articles on this. There's other platforms like TradingView. If you go to a longer time frame on a specific company, they'll also provide some highlights, but these are not all encompassing. And that's where social media can play a huge role. I absolutely love X. I'm on X all the time. Not only just consuming content, but also posting content. People like Walter Bloomberg, this is one of my favorite people I follow. There's a reason he has over 700,000 followers. He posts just the headlines, none of the noise. You miss almost nothing. If there's company-specific news, he'll conveniently put a ticker there before it so that it like draws your eye when you see it come across the tape. It's so big. And there's a bunch of people who post meaningful information on X as well. And I think it's really important that you build up a following you really like. Not all of these are directly market related. I, of course, just follow some people because they're funny every once in a while. But curating a good following list of people you really like that post helpful content will help you catch things that you normally wouldn't. You only have two eyes. You only have one brain. There's only so many things you can look at. Using social media is a great free way to help build a network, right? It's I'd say a step down from like joining a community like the one I've built, where there's, you kind of learn who is worth their salt or not. When you're just kind of diving into social media, you don't really know who actually posts valid information or doesn't. But a good key thing to keep in mind is random people on Reddit are probably full of it. A majority of the time. There's a reason why they choose to act anonymously, right? There's lots of professionals like me who stake their name and their brand on the things they post. And so when they post something, they usually do a lot of research behind it. Now, that doesn't mean you should blindly follow those people, including me. You should do your own research because we're all human. We make mistakes. Do your own research, have your own convictions, understand why they have an opinion they do or like a trade. Once you build those convictions, then mimicking something like you see on X then becomes valid and not just you making a huge mistake and just kind of blindly following, right? You want to have a path to independence, and just blindly following people on the internet isn't going to be how you get there. Now, just because you have all this information doesn't mean that all of it's going to be useful. There's going to be a lot of noise, and not to turn a course into a promo, but that's also what we do for our community is we try to say like, this doesn't matter, that does matter. We only post the stuff that actually matters, right? There are some other ways where you can get like broad overviews. If you go into your TradingView application, you click this box right over here and you kind of scroll down. There's this really cool thing I sometimes like to look at where we see analyst rating, and we can kind of see a broad overview based on 49 analysts. This is where their price ranges are for the stock from a fundamental viewpoint. I like to use things like this to get a broad overview of where like the expert opinion is, although always take analysts with a grain of salt. Not all of them are worth it, which is why I only like to look at broad overviews like this. Another free tool that can be really helpful is FinViz. So I could type in a company name here and I can get a quick snapshot of the company, get all this information real quick, see all the analyst upgrades and the dates of them, which can be really important, especially if you've done a bunch of analysis on a company you really like and you see that analysts haven't put out any upgrades or downgrades or reviewed the company in a while. That can actually turn into a catalyst for the stock. So if you see that they're 6 to 8 months behind on upgrading or downgrading the company, and you see that it's picked up some interest, that volume's starting to pick up, and it's starting to look appealing, you can play in anticipation of analyst reports starting to review the company again and them giving updates, because those can cause stock reactions. So this can be considered a catalyst to the upside. This also, though, gives you a really good look at all the recent news on the company. As you can see, they don't miss a lot here on FinViz either. So the next resource I'm going to have to give a shout out for, almost begrudgingly, because at Nobel Trading, we offer lots of resources and we help people become profitable. But 42 Macro is the Ferrari of macro research. If you're someone who doesn't have any idea of how to develop a macro framework or have a perspective on the global economy, or you're someone who's stuck in analysis paralysis, or you just never feel like you have enough information, this will be enough information. I don't care who you are. This is a daily newsletter. It's usually about 50 to 60 pages long every single day. It's 52 a month. So, for some of you that might be kind of expensive, but it over time, using something like this will help you understand the global economy and how things move. This is the type of information that the big boys get. All right. I think in total, 42 macro services, like over 10 trillion in assets. So your favorite hedge fund guy likely uses this service, and it just doesn't hit a lot of retail traders' radar that this even exists, and that it has in recent years become available to retail traders. This isn't something I use anymore, but I have in the past. And boy, it's almost too much information. But if you're just lost when you think about global economics and what to keep an eye on, this is going to be your solution. And that completes this course. If you use this course and you want to check out the Discord, use code 247 to get your first month off, your Discord access if you want to check it out and trade with me and my team at Nobel Trading. I hope you learned lots. Remember, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below in the comments, whether this is on YouTube or on the webpage. I'm not sure I'm going to upload it yet, but there'll be some sort of way where I can answer all questions and make sure that I provide more information on this course and build upon it in the future. I hope you found this helpful, and God bless.